Viewer discretion advised. On the upcoming video, a GTA fan is going to waffle about GTA 6 Trailer 2. 344 days after its release, with Trailer 3 likely right around the corner. Welcome, fellow wafflers, to Waffler and HANKS Episode 3. And here is your Waffler host.
Yeah, that's me. Welcome in. It's Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. And there is 217 days to go until we play this long awaited game that we've waited so long for. Just 217 days until the most anticipated video game in history finally releases to the tunes of millions and billions in dollars. But we're closing in on almost another year of silence on this long awaited game. The silence periods really start to get to me. The longer they drag out, over 500 days between trailer 1 and trailer 2. And then we got trailer 2 and the website, and that was all awesome. But we've gotten nothing since, except for, of course, the second delay in November. But with all that being said, I am hopeful that the silence will end soon. We are closing in on that time frame when something new is likely to drop, with the Take-Two call just about a month away. They usually announce it here like a month out or so, so we'll know the official date soon. I actually was looking into this like the GTA nerd that I am, and Take-Two's May calls, I've noticed, are usually a little bit later than the ones they do in the other months, the August, November, and February calls. But not only that, I noticed recently, dating back to 2020, they take place in the third week of May typically. The last multiple years, it's been the third Thursday of May. Before that, it was, I think, the third Wednesday of May for a couple of years, maybe the third Monday, maybe one of them was on a Friday. But anyways, the point stands that dating back till 2020, these May Take-Two calls are the third week. And in more recent years, they've been on Thursday. So I think that tells me it will come on Thursday, May 21st this year, which I think puts trailer 2 pretty much, excuse me, trailer 3 rather. We're going to waffle about trailer 2 here shortly on this episode today. But I think that puts trailer 3 just about where everybody thinks it's going to come out on Tuesday, May 5th, or sometime like that week in general. That's 2 weeks before. With GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, they put out the third trailers just almost exactly 2 weeks before these Take-Two May calls. But again, the Take-Two May calls dating back to 2020 have taken place in the third week. And the latest one has been actually is May 20th, 2020 in my research. But maybe it'll be later this year. Maybe it will be the 14th, like a lot of people thought, like I was thinking it would be until I looked into it a little deeper. But regardless, I'm just I'm getting into the weeds here because we're getting closer and closer to this silence finally ending, and for new information to drop, for trailer 3 to likely drop, pre-orders, the cover art, maybe new artwork or screenshots on the website, some sort of website update as well. We don't know about that part. We don't really know much at all. It's been another huge period of silence, but we are getting closer. Each day is closer. 2 weeks from today, we'll be sitting here on the 18-year anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 4, and there will be a mere 203 days till we get to play this video game. Been waiting and waiting and waiting and anticipating and getting excited about. Excuse me, belching my coffee. But I just cannot wait for this video game. As you all know, welcome in here to Waffler at HANKS. A very unserious but fun, another GTA 6 YouTube show for your timeline from a lifelong GTA fan who just, not that we need another guy waffling about GTA 6 on YouTube, but I couldn't miss out on this special year, the year of GTA 6 that this is. We won't have another year like this for a very, very, very long time. And who knows what that will even be like when it comes to Grand Theft Auto 7 or even the next release, the next Rockstar game, which is many moons away as well. But regardless, we're not that many moons away from Grand Theft Auto 6. 217 days to go, and today we're going to waffle about trailer 2, and then I might kind of like pause during that and do some free form, if you will, rambling about whatever has come to my mind by watching trailer 2. A little bit more free form than we did last week with trailer 1. I was kind of watching it back. I thought it was a little too static of like, oh, okay, now I just go to the next. I don't know. I don't know. Like, nobody needs another trailer deep dive. Those are all over YouTube. There's so many great creators that have made those. I'm not really trying to do that. I'm just trying to kind of go through the trailer and be like, since I didn't do this in the past and we have this space before trailer 3 and new information drops, feels perfect to like get in here with the Waffler show and talk about my favorite scenes from trailer 1 like last week, talk about my favorite scenes from trailer 2 this week, and screenshots next week, assuming we don't get new information next week. I think we're going to go through some of my favorite screenshots. But yeah, man, before you know it, we're closing in here. We're about to be, once again, 200 days out from this video game, and I really feel good about it not being delayed again. They're talking about this launch marketing coming this summer from Rockstar, which before that can go, which is that's that real life IRL marketing that you see. You got to get trailer 3 and pre-orders popping, and I think they're going to be popping soon. But 344 days after it came out, let's head over to this scene and take a look at trailer 2 and have a waffle about some of my favorite scenes. Here we go. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to try to make this a little more freeform in general. I think it's more fun that way for me. What a beautiful scene to open trailer 2. It's just, wow. Wow. Yeah, I can't get over it. And of course, you always see this with GTA 5, how much of the greenery they had to cut and stuff. I always forget the official term. I don't know why, but like, there's way more trees and thicker grass and stuff in some of those GTA 5 trailers, and they had to cut it because to get the game to run good on a PS3 and 360 way back in the day. But I'm optimistic that even though it seems like they're going insane with, look at all the trees just in this scene. Even though they're going insane, I'm optimistic that the game, yeah, is going to look like this in the end, and they hopefully won't have to cut any of that out, because like, what a beautiful scene. This out in the Keys, it's just so beautiful, and it seems like you're going to probably start the game that way. I mean, well, maybe you start with Lucia in prison. There's like that element too, but Jason lives at the Keys, and Brian's boat Marina is out at the Keys. Everybody knows all these things already. Again, like, I'm gonna try not to repeat stuff people already know, but that's kind of difficult. I'm reviewing a trailer 344 days after it came out, and I'm not trying to do it as a review. The volumetric clouds is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, man. The NPCs hanging out at their houses. My first thought on that is, I'm probably too far back on the mic. Sorry. Let me try to stay closer permanently, but try to do better about that. But the thing with the NPCs at their houses is I really hope it's just like less static, where it's just like in GTA 5, you go up to an NPC at their house, it doesn't really feel like that's their house. It just feels like they're just like somebody hanging out there. And I don't know what that is, or what can be done about that, I guess, is another thing. I don't know what exactly can be besides, like interiors for some of them, but I don't really expect that to happen too much. I'm sure for certain ones maybe, but I don't think many in terms of houses. So, but I guess if they're like actually swimming in their pool, hanging out on the floaty, they're not. I mean, again, I think they maybe do some of that in GTA 5, to be honest. But there's just something about it where it doesn't really feel like it's actually their house that they're hanging out in, and it feels more like they're just a guest. So Jason's car here, obviously Jason fixing leaks on the rooftop, and we got his iguana down here with his own shirt. Another basketball hoop. There's definitely going to be a basketball minigame, right? I can't imagine there wouldn't be. You see it in the screenshots. You see it in the trailer here. I feel like you see it even more in like other screenshots of trailer 1 or something. I don't know. It feels like it's just definitely being heavily teased as a minigame within the game. Once again, this looks beautiful. I think it's interesting. The mapping project, last I had heard anyways, had not figured out what Jason's house is based on, which is amazing because they figure out everything. If you ever watch like Sako 505's videos, he works in the mapping project and breaks it down. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Big shout out to that channel and the whole mapping project community. I can't wait. This guy, I'm not gonna have any audio on for these things, with copyright and all that. But his voice, I'd love to play it, but his voice, so distinctive, is immediately picked up. Oh, that's that guy from the TV show Barry with Bill Hader in it. And yeah, so I really think this character is going to be really fun. The Brian character. I think there's going to be some funny interactions for sure between him and Jason. And he's just like, of course, everybody knows. You probably, if you've seen one of the breakdowns, there's like a squirrel or something back there getting into the trash, and it's like, oh my god, the amount of this is where I think when people hear that about over 1,000 world events compared to like in a few hundred or something for like Red Dead 2 and not even 100 for GTA 5. Well, the thing about that is it's like from the leaks, and I think it's part of like it's more so non-interactable things as well, like probably something like this that can happen randomly, an animal going through trash. There's probably like a ton of different variants of that, for example, that are not really interactable as a player, but you'll like see them, you'll notice them as a player. I mean, I suppose you can technically interact with the animal, but like it's more of a background event type of thing that I think we'll hopefully see a lot of in this game. And I think if they nail it, if they do a lot of that, it will make it feel even more immersive and even more like a real, alive, breathing world. If they really um, have a lot of these background things going on that make it feel like there's lots of other living, breathing things in this world, man, it's just like you can pause in any of these scenes and just marvel at how pretty this game is going to be. It's really amazing to me. And this got me thinking too about, and to have this a little more extended waffle about this, I'll head back in here. What I was thinking about recently, maybe it was a Reddit post I was reading. It might have been. I don't know. But the topic of the day-night cycle in GTA, and will it be longer? What is it? 48 minutes for a real life minutes for a full day in GTA 5? I would like it to be longer. But it's interesting reading opinions. I think this was a Reddit post because it was interesting reading opinions about like, oh well, I want it to be like multiple hours, and I really don't. I really don't think they'll do something like that again. Like something like that that's more in the realism type. You role play servers, right? Role play mode if it's like a mode on console for on online or for example. I think that's where you put that stuff. But I would be interested in just the base game having a longer day night cycle than 48 minutes for sure, because it's like you want to enjoy the neon lights of Vice City at night, but also like the dark, scary Mount Colaga going through the roads at night there, or in Port Gellhorn or Ambrosia. So yeah, I really hope there's a longer day night cycle. But I don't know. I'm trying to pick a number, but instead of 48 minutes, what if it was like I try to be realistic too and think what will they actually do? I mean, yes, they definitely love to evolve things, and so it is kind of hard to predict in some ways. But would they go double, or like an hour and a half, basically double? Because that's maybe where I'd land. Let's just kind of double it up. But so that's 40. I mean, that's probably, well, I guess it's not exactly probably 50-50 either. There's technically probably like daylight bleeds into the overall percentage. So it's like maybe uh 50, it's like 50 to 60 minutes of daylight and 30 minutes ish of dark. And then like how much of that is pitch black too? But again, it's like that's where it can get really immersive, and that's where it came up on my mind when I was looking at this. We're talking about trailer 2 here. It's like that could be so immersive. I think that could be so amazing if we had a longer day night cycle, and you could get to a point where it's the middle of the night and you're in Ambrosia and there's not streetlights and it is, or you're in the park, you're in the grass rivers with like the alligators. Oh my god, oh my god, creating a nightmare for myself here, a future nightmare. But it just would be so fun, I think, to be able to experience the different day night parts of the game. And it also reminds me today. I was listening to the GTA 6 o'clock guys in their episode today, and they something got brought up where it was they were talking about the whole different days events being tied to different days and online. And I hope it's a thing in single player as well. I think they're teasing it a bit with like one of the scenes from the strip club in the trailer or whatever is like make it rain Mondays. So it's like I'd love that. I think it makes perfect sense for online, But I think it'd also be really fun and immersive for single player. And as a person that's going to be really into single player for months and months and months when it comes out, I really hope they do it there where it's like, yeah. But and take that further where it's like Friday and Saturday nights, for example, the stadium and the arena have events going on and the traffic is packed around that area. Maybe some people would be like, that's too far. It's still, it's a video game. Like, hold that type of idea for an RP server, an RP mode. But I'd really love that. I'd love the realism based on the day. It's a Friday night. Yeah, probably don't drive near the stadium if you don't want to get into a traffic jam. There's going to be a shit ton of people there. There's an event going on. It's Saturday night at the arena. Same idea. So I think that'd be really fun, and it's interesting to think about. Back to the trailer. We all know this is going from a cutscene to gameplay, right? Just like Red Dead 2, man. It's like, yeah, definitely right. NPCs can carry their pets. That's gonna be interesting. Curious, the obvious thought I have as a person that loves to cause some chaos in the old GTA. If an NPC is just walking around with their pets on the ground, walking on their own, but you do something to disturb the peace, so to speak, will they? I'm presumably, if we're seeing this right here, presumably they will like pick up their pet and start running away, right? And not just like randomly scamper off. I'm curious about this too and how it evolves, like with people that NPCs that are like friends that were in the same car. GTA 5, you get in a fight with them, you get them to get out of their car, and one of them might just end up driving off or running off without the other. Like it's like totally doesn't feel realistic. I mean, so I'm hoping that there's like things like that where it's like, oh, the NPC is going to pick up their pet and start running away and not just like leave them there with the chaos that might be unfolding. Again, so much greenery, by the way, in the background. Like, look at, oh my goodness, man. The keys are going to be so beautiful to drive through. I really think they're showing early game things here because I'm pretty sure this is also in the keys. Pretty sure. Not 100% though, to be fair. But either way, like Jason and the keys. But the question is, do they again back to the map access thing we're talking about? Do they restrict map access to him? With he's when Lucia comes out of prison, she has an ankle monitor. That's an easy way to do it gameplay wise. Restrict map access for her character. But what about Jason? Can we leave the keys and just go anywhere at the beginning, at the very beginning? There's gonna be so many different NPCs. It's just like this game is going to be so much more ambitious than GTA 5. I can't get over it. Like GTA 5 was made for consoles so long ago. For the console tech that is so many years old compared to this. And wow. Wow. It's gonna be fun seeing NPCs for the first time, like sitting in the back of, to my knowledge anyway, sitting in the back of cars and trucks like this for the first time. Do you think they get in trouble with the police if they do that? What do the NPC police pull over NPCs for, like, or get them in trouble for? What are all the different things they get them in trouble for? The plane flying right over your head when you're driving near the airport or something. Oh man, I just feel like it's going to be really immersive. And I feel like I've said that the word immersive 50 times already in this episode, but that's a big part of it for me. Big part of what I love about these games, man. Mm. Yeah, they're also teasing, some sort of body weight thing mechanic. I do think is going to be in the game. I don't know if it's going to be as intense, so to speak, as San Andreas, but I think more along the lines of Red Dead 2, where it's more of a subtle thing. But yeah, if you eat at Burger Shot, you eat at Cluck and Bell multiple days in a row, and you don't go and work out at the beach with Jason or wherever you can work out at, or with Lucia, maybe it's more of the fighter type stuff, the boxing type stuff. But either way, some sort of workout, then your character's going to gain weight and look different. I think that's really fun. I think it'd be really fun if they brought that back. and it was more like Red Dead 2. And it so far it seems to be how they're teasing it to me. I don't think it's gonna be as like San Andreas was maybe a little over the top with it for me personally, and how they did that system. But I love the idea of the system. I just like it kind of more like how it is in Red Dead 2. Maybe not quite as subtle as Red Dead. I mean, as Red Dead 2. I don't know, but so many beautiful palm trees. So many things to see in the background of these shots too, like different NPCs walking around, hanging out, working out themselves. Then we're in here, and I definitely think this is gameplay. Jason picking up some some beer. A new millionaire every week. Can you play the lotto in the game? Do you think? Probably not. It's funny to like theorize about random shit because that's what I used to do as a kid, leading into new GTA's. I remember with like a neighborhood friend before GTA 4 came out, and like I think he just wanted me to shut up about it because he kept just saying, "Oh yeah, I think that is going to be in the game," and like I just believed him. I mean, we're just like kids, but I was like, I want. One of the weirder things I think was like I want functioning. I'll go here waffle for a moment here. One of the things I want is functional bank drive-throughs. Was like one of the weird things I wanted to see in GTA 4. And he just was like, "Yeah, I think, yeah, I think they're gonna have that. I heard they're gonna have that." He was just totally bullshitting me, but I just didn't even. I was total in fan mode, and I was a young kid, and I was like, "Oh fuck." So it's like, yeah, I try not to do that now. All these years later, 18 years later, that's crazy to think about, though. I really do think he's probably just like, this guy. Can you just shut up about this game? But I can't shut up about these games. I love them so much. But I try not to, think that we're going to be able to do everything. I do think there's possibility for a lot of things to be interactable in the game, especially over time through UGC, through mods, that type of thing. And of course, a lot to in the quote unquote vanilla game, in the base game, a lot too. But over time, that UGC stuff, I think is just going to be huge. I totally could see some play it someday on some sort of RP server, UGC type thing. They have interactable lotto that you can actually maybe win. I mean, it's actually, I mean, maybe not that far fetched when you realize that GTA Online has like the spin wheel thing. I forget about that though. Not a huge GTA Online player, so just thought about that part. It is unlawful for any person to consume or possess in an open container any alcoholic beverage in this store or within 100 feet of this store. Violators are subject to arrest and prosecution. This is one of my favorite scenes from Trailer 2 because it is one of the things I just waffle about a lot when talking about these games, which is the whole interaction between cops and NPCs. In GTA 4, like I've talked about, they chase them down, put them in a police car. It gets repetitive, but it's I kind of like it more in GTA 5 because GTA 5 is just every time the cop comes up and randomly pull over an NPC and they eventually get him to stop, everybody gets out of their cars and it's just blast off. No exception. That's how it ends every time. Unless they're like run off the road or something, I guess. But like you get yeah, because I'll help the cops stop them because I want to see the interaction. So I'll get in front of the car and help. This isn't single player, and I'll help stop the car, and then the cops drive up, and then the NPCs in the car get out and just start firing, and so then the cops do the same. And so it's just like it's very repeat. But we're gonna have so much more variance of all the different cop and NPC interactions. I think in GTA 6, look at this. Like one's being shoved right here, one's up against the wall over here, just kind of hanging out. I guess she's not really in trouble. But then these dudes down here are definitely in trouble. Oh my goodness. I just can't wait to see this in game for the first time and interact with it. Even if that literally means just like strolling past slowly and listening in to just kind of observe. And then eventually when I see like another random event like this, you presume this would be like random events like this, I feel like. In different areas. And then when it happens again, bro, interact in some way. Oh my goodness. I just love it. I love this idea that another one of those things that makes the world feel so real and alive when it's not just blast off time every time. a cop pulls over an NPC in GTA 5, and in GTA 4, it's not just, hey, chase them down and eventually bring them into the. Wait, again, I like GTA 4 more because it's more realistic in a sense where they at least like track them down without blasting them, put them in cuffs. Or, well, no, they don't put them in cuffs. They just like point their gun at him, make him walk to the cop car. But either way, they get him in, go to the back of the cop car. Then is where it ends because the cop car, I'm a nerd and I just followed around before. It just drives in circles around the block or whatever. It doesn't really actually go to the police station. But at GTA 6, I feel like they definitely could. And I just love little details like this. This is the type of shit I will nerd out on, that I will make content on when this game comes out. I cannot wait to see the elements of this. This is why it's one of my favorite scenes of trailer 2. It's so exciting to think about this as a gameplay thing. And this is definitely, I think, gameplay, right? Where like trailer 2 is like half gameplay, half um what else they say? Half cinematic, half cutscene, half cutscene. I think is, yeah, half cutscene, half gameplay. I definitely think this is just gameplay. This is Jason driving to the prison, on the way to the prison to pick up Lucia, and what's going on out here? Some NPCs are in trouble, and I can't wait to try to bail some of them out, or just interact with it in any sort of way, and then hopefully there's this realism element too, where it's like they get him in the back of the cop car and they actually drive to the station. I would love that so much, man. I don't know if it would go as far as like they walk in and book him. I don't really need that necessarily, right? I know it's probably funny to probably thinking, well, where do you draw the line? I don't know. Pretty randomly. I'm just thinking out loud. Like, do I really need it to be like? I would like them to be driven to the station for sure for an immersion thing. But do I need to see like the cops like actually like walk in? Well, I mean, the question becomes like, how many police stations can you go in, or to what level of the police station can you go into? Too, I'm getting really into the weeds, but by the way, another thing about this, look how dirty the police car is on the sides. If you're looking really close, I don't know if it'll come across in my YouTube video, to be fair. But man, go look at the trailer yourself and look up close at that. And you see it in other parts of the trailer and then screenshots, I think, as well. The dirtiness on the side of cars is so fucking realistic. Oh my god. It's wild, bro. I can't wait for this. By the way, undercover cop car there. Oh yeah, and then there's another group down here, and they're just kind of hanging out. They're just chatting. They're not really in trouble. I think they're just chatting. They might have just been witnesses to whatever went down over here. Oh man, I can't wait. There's no, I, I'm not cruising past as fast as Jason does the first time I see one of these in game. I'm gonna slowly, maybe even get out of my car and just walk up on it. Cause like, what if you just walk up near it? I bet the cops will be like, "Hey, back away, get the fuck out of here." I bet they won't be so nice about it. I'm gonna guess the cops in GTA. Oh man, not much to talk about. Kind of in a couple of these scenes, they know his name at this prison. That's for sure. There's the interesting part to me with this is: do we begin the game with Lucia in prison and learn some like fighting mechanics, for example? I feel like I've seen a theory of this online. I'm definitely not coming up with this theory myself. Um, or is it, well? It could be that, and then the game flips us over to Jason, and we're in the keys doing some of his work, and we have that scene from trailer 2 with him and Brian. But then, like, how much can Jason explore is the obvious question I would want have. Or are we locked down to Lucia? Well, no, because you obviously see Jason going through gameplay moments, driving to get Lucia in this trailer. They're clearly teasing, like, oh yeah, this is what it'll be like early in the game when you're going to get Lucia out of prison. Here he is driving. He works out at the beach, and then he goes to the liquor store, and then he drives past the police scene that we were just looking at. So look at this. Look at the sun on the side of his head. The lighting in this game is just gonna be insane, bro. Absolutely insane. The rust on his car as well. Another like these finite details. I think that can be like such an insanely huge thing. It feels subtle, but I think it'll have such an insanely huge effect again on the realism in the world. You're not just driving around and seeing different cars in different colors, but different shape as well, and different. Some can have rust going on. Some can have just like paint peeling, like shit like that. That were like, or just like dust, just dirty. Like, oh my god, there's gonna be so many different variants on top of all the different cars we already have in different colors. Man, the question is, will we get like cars that are really, really shitty, like but still drivable, like in GTA 4? We kind of had more of that. Some real beaten up cars that were smoking and shit, but they were drivable. I could see that happening. I'd love to see that happening. Oh man, we don't. What do you say about these scenes? Sticking up the bank here. I love this shot, especially when they go to the right there. Another one of my favorite scenes from trailer 2. Absolutely love it. It's a gorgeous shot. It's just beautiful. You got the ship in the background, different boats, and again the lighting of this game. Oh my, beautiful, beautiful. Step back a moment here though to like this shot here, and again the lighting, so beautiful. Cheers. So fun, so fun. Ah, we're here at Brian's Boat Works and Marina. This is also in the Keys. Like I was talking about a little while ago. Sure, there's gonna be a lot of early game missions involving this. There's gonna be a Lucia trash mission. Is this gonna be the new like yoga mission, the yoga mission from GTA 5 that everybody hates, or like what's the other one? The with like a forklift and I can't remember, at like the port. So at like the port in GTA 5. But yeah, the trash collecting mission, the community service Lucia trash collecting mission. Oh man, I don't mind it. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to do wacky missions like that too, and not just the same type of mission over and over. This is really fun to note with the lights on the back of the car shining. Oh my goodness, shining on Lucia's skin. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. By the way, does this mean since you can pick up trash in this mission, does this mean we'll be able to pick up random trash items and throw them at NPCs like in GTA 4? We could pick up random bottles, their phone. You scare them and they drop their phone. You pick it up, throw it at them. What else? Just all sorts of different little things. Like maybe like a brick too was another item. I don't know if it necessarily means that. I'm kind of just being silly, but I hadn't thought about that till now. Because if they're going to build a mechanic for one mission, you would presume it community service is just one mission. Well, at least involving trash collecting. Uh, if they're going to do that, why not just have it be some mechanic in the game? I mean, I know she's like using a grabber to do it here, but I don't know. I don't think it's crazy to kind of be like, well, maybe this does mean we'll be able to pick up some items again. Maybe not all of them. I don't know. I mean, there's also like, what would be the point of picking up this fucking what looks like a burger shot trash or something? It looks like a burger came in that. Like this cardboard thing. What am I gonna do by throwing that at somebody? I don't know. I mean, I'd do it if I could because it's just fun. But yeah, I do think this is gonna be one of the missions that's like people are like, oh my god. But I think it'll be fun. Of course, the fun thing to note here that I'm sure you've seen in the breakdown videos and stuff over the last 344 days since this came out, the apartment is changing in the trailer. The walls, like obviously not complete back there. They got shit laying around that you would have laying around if you're like doing construction on your house and stuff. So Jason's definitely doing the construction to his Leonida house here. Excuse me, Leonida Keys house. In the Keys. The question I feel like is, does Brian get pissed at us at some point in the story, and then we have to like not be here because we're like on the run with Lucia and we're like in Port Gellhorn or we're in Vice City or in Ambrosia, whatever. Ambrosia. I don't know. But I don't know. I kind of doubt it because it's like, why would you have us working, well, over as the story progresses, I guess, is probably what they're actually showing in this trailer, which would mean that, yeah, you still have access to this in some fashion throughout. Maybe this is still just like the base safe house, but then they go on the run, and so they're just kind of away from it, but you can technically, like in free roam and stuff, still come back here. Hmm. I don't know. There's also the line in trailer 2 about they got your name, they got your address, they got everything. That implies that you're not going to be able to like be here for a while. But then how is it getting worked on? How is it? How is the stuff changing from here until later? And where we at 128? I just want to know so I can come back. Let's go to like later on in the trailer where they show it again. Right here. Yeah, right here. Now that's being worked on. Well, that was before in the other shot, I guess. But I thought like something changed with it. Maybe I'm making this up after all. I swear something kind of changed in that. Definitely feels like that was being worked on. There's the shot with Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I feel like it's different here, right? You still got the drywall back there. 217 and then 128. Maybe it's not that different in these shots. Maybe I'm just fucking full of it. I don't know, but the fact that it's like not complete. Does it stay that way? Isn't there another shot here? I know we're getting ahead, and we're gonna get to this part later eventually, anyways. But isn't there another? There's like another shot in here that I was thinking of. Oh, right here. This sure looks like a saw sitting in this corner. I feel like, or maybe not a saw, but something that you would be using. There's like a paint bucket. Yeah. See, like maybe that's more what I'm thinking of, is in terms of it feels like the house is being worked on. But yeah, I guess the question is, how is it being worked on if they're on the run? Ring the bell, baby. Shots. Cal Hampton's gonna be a really fun character. I'm very, very excited to interact with Cal Hampton. And if I like had my choice on who the third character could be, if there's like a third character after the story ends or something, that fans have theorized that, I don't know, it probably won't happen. But if there's like a third playable character, we don't know. We don't know if it'll happen. I guess more than anything, but um, I would want it to be Cal Hampton. I would definitely want it to be Cal Hampton, bro. He seems so funny and ridiculous. He's kind of a bit more over the top, like GTA 5 characters. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. GTA 5 characters and story is so like kind of absurdly over the top, but I think that's like the heart of GTA in a lot of ways, and I really like it. But I'm also excited that Jason and Lucia definitely seem like more serious characters than Michael and Trevor for sure, at least in GTA 5. I think Franklin's a bit more serious, but but I also Jason and Lucia, I'm imagining are not going to be as serious as Nico for sure from GTA 4. I don't think that would be the case, but more serious, less ridiculous over the top than Michael and Trevor from GTA 5. I think from what we know from the trailers and the character bios and stuff so far. So it's an interesting part to think about because when you're interacting with NPCs, for example, in the greet and antagonize system that we will likely see in the game coming over from Red Dead 2, when you antagonize an NPC with Lucia or Jason, I'm so curious what those lines will be like, how sarcastic they will be, that type of thing. Because I think these characters are definitely going to have their fun and have their silly parts to them, but I don't think they're going to be Jason and Lucia. I'm talking about extremely over the top. Like again, and I like Trevor, my favorite character in the history of GTA by far. I He's absurd. He's so absurd and ridiculous, but I love that character. I think he's fantastic. I really like Michael. I really like Franklin. Nico, it's all right. I Yeah, I'm not somebody that likes GTA 4 story more than 5. I can definitely appreciate like elements of the overall game compared to 5. And I've talked about how Port Gellhorn, I think you're going to get GTA 4 vibes from big time. Maybe Ambrosia too. And then like Vice City is going to be more like GTA 5, but grander, larger, Los Santos. But anyways, I'm getting kind of off topic here. I guess we could be in here waffling, but yeah, it's interesting because then I think Cal though, and maybe we'll step in here for a moment and go back here. I think Cal will be the ridiculous over the top guy. I mean, they're obviously selling him that way for sure. That's not really a bold prediction at all. But yeah, the question is like becomes about the other characters. Maybe we'll kind of get more into this actually next week when we go through the screenshots and character bios and stuff, and we kind of we're just gonna kind of cover the whole website stuff. Um, and thinking about it, I think that would be a good time to kind of dig deeper on this subject of are we gonna get less over the top characters, more serious characters, that type of thing. Let's go back to the trailer. Hurricane Roxy was here or something referencing Hurricane Roxy. Um, We don't really know who this character is. Obviously, that's Cal back there, but we don't really know who this is. Seeing the TV just makes you think about TV in the game too, and like how absurd that will be, how over the top that might be. Spin move. According to the mappers, this scene is at Hank's Waffles in the parking lot. So, and there's like, I don't know how they figure this out. I don't know how they figure out a lot of the stuff they figure out. They're pretty amazing, as I was talking about earlier. But again, it's like, this is one of those things too where you really see the glow up of Jason and Lucia from compared to trailer one. Um, Jason buff wise, trailer one to trailer two, especially, I think is really noticeable. This is super interesting, you know. You would assume, especially in trailer two that came out a year and a half before the game actually comes out, you would assume they're not showing us a ton of late game stuff. So this, they're in Vice City said something here, right? You can see it says Vice over there, Vice City. Well, I guess that's the 919 club being, or whatever it's called, and it's on trailer one as well on the plane. The club being promoted, but maybe they're just at it too. That probably makes the most logical sense here in this scene. A lot of NPCs, by the way, hanging out and dancing. But this makes me think that we are going to be able to go to Vice City early in the game. I was kind of speculating, maybe it was the last week, or I can't remember what's things I say on here and what things I just like talk to other people about or think about on my own outside of doing these. But I was thinking about something with like, what was it? Now it's escaping me. I I was thinking about explaining the setup, and it just totally escaped me. Oh, I was worried about map restriction access, and if we are map restricted in some way, will they unlock Vice City last? Was what I was worried about for like some sort of grand finale. But I think it makes sense that we probably go there sooner. Maybe that's where we get in trouble and have to go on the run. Maybe Vice City is one of the first things you unlock. I think it would make a. I don't know. I can understand them saving it for the end, but this tells me this is we don't know, but this is probably earlier in the game since it's showing this in trailer two, a year and a half before the game comes out. Uh, so it's probably at least the first half of the video game, I would say, in the story. So, and here we are, seemingly in Vice City. So that makes me optimistic about the map unlock stuff if it does exist. Because like I don't know, man. I so badly want to explore the brand new incredible sandbox Rockstar has spent so many years crafting to an incredible degree beyond any other devs with a budget and resources unlike any other on the planet. I really want to go to Vice City like immediately. Not that I want to like skip past the keys. I'm gonna explore the keys and fuck around there too. I'll probably go to the Rusty Anchor. I'm not gonna say I'm going to Vice City like I guess literally immediately, but I don't want to have to like beat a shit ton of the story. And let's say, I'm trying to spread it out so my dry eye doesn't go insane and so I don't burn myself not burn myself out, but like I don't know. It's mostly the dry eye thing and just like wanting to take your time with things. And I'll feel like I have to kind of sort of rush to unlock Vice City if it especially and then that gets rough if you get into multiple days after the game came out and I still haven't seen Vice City. But it's like all of my feed if I dare to go on social media. I know people. Well, the obvious thing to that is well, don't go on social media. Well, thing about that is I want to be posting on it myself. But yeah, there's definitely a worry about spoilers. That's always something to consider for sure. But anyways, I don't even know how I got into that point, but it's just these nighttime scenes so fun. This is definitely got to be a mission, right? I'd love to be like, oh my god, maybe certain random apartments we'll be able to go in, or like, or have roof access to, like GTA 4. And I do think some of that's going to happen with. I've talked about this in previous episodes with like the taller buildings and shit. I do think some of this is going to happen, where you can have lobby access and roof access to some of them. And but yeah, this is a middle floor of an apartment. But again, it's a mission for sure, right? It definitely seems like to me. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. The cops are just on you and it's a copter. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of assuming that too simply, too easily. Who is that? That is Jason, right? Yeah. Wow. The towel. The incredible detail on the towel and everything. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, this comes into if this is just gameplay outside of a mission, then it's like the whole discussion about and I think this is actually here's the thing. Let me waffle about this for a moment. I think one of the big evolvements in this game compared to GTA 5, where we had 3 characters for the first time ever, we're having multiple characters again, but it's a totally different dynamic, obviously, as they're like dating in a relationship, interested in each other. But I really think more than anything, what they're going to do with this setup of the two main characters is systems revolving around Jason and Lucia doing things together in the open world in free roam, outside of gameplay, gameplay, outside of missions, I should say, in just free roam gameplay. We can go in and rob this Waffle House. We can go in and rob a burger shot, a random burger shot, or Cluck and Bell. We can go in and rob a random clothes store, jewelry store. We can. I don't know how far they take it, but maybe you can just rob random apartment buildings or hotel rooms. Again, like just here and there. It's like I don't know if you're like the staircase is there for a tall hotel building, and you just have to find a floor where the door is unlocked. For example, the doors are locked on like every floor, but you get to like the third to last floor. I don't know, or just one in the middle where something's just random, and it's like you can go in. And then with like the whole patent thing that a lot of people have talked about, where they patented this interior type thing where they can have a system that spawns in the necessary things based on what type of interior it is tagged as. It's a tag based system that Take Two has got a patent for. With that, could they then like switch up the floor like on the same building? One day it's the seventh floor, another day it's the 32nd floor or whatever. I mean, have like I don't know if it'll go that far. I think it maybe they just, but it would be more realistic that way. Here's another thing part with that too. Let's say this building one day it's the seventh floor. The doors randomly unlock for, and they're just generating a similar interior as any other floor, but just on a different level. I'm totally getting into speculation here, obviously, I'm kind of branching off of a patent that is seemingly going to be a patent related to GTA 6. But could you then the next day none of the floors are available? No, I mean none of them have a door unlocked. You can go up the stairs and all the way to the roof, but none of the doors are unlocked. You come back a few days later, none of the doors are unlocked. Come back a few days later, oh, one of them is unlocked. Like that type of randomizer system in these different tall skyscraper type buildings that are motels and apartments where you can maybe access a random floor. This is an evolvement on an idea where I was thinking maybe they'd do it where like certain floors on the outside would have the door open and an interior that you can go in and like rob the place or whatever in an apartment or motel. And maybe some of that too. But I think it gets really interesting when you think about the randomness that I'm kind of getting into. A random floor that has the door unlocked, or maybe it's an NPCs going through it and you can just like walk in behind them. But again, that only happens like certain time or just randomly in these taller buildings, and it's not guaranteed. I don't want it to be the seventh floor on this one building is unlocked every single day. To me, that's like not realistic enough for a 2026 Grand Theft Auto game. Like, I want it to be more randomized, more dynamic, where it's like some days none of the floors are unlocked, and you can just go to the roof or lobby access. Pardon me, I'm belching my lunch. Pardon me. But that's really fun. I actually kind of just thought of that in real time there. Um, that could be fun if it's dynamic like that, and it's like, oh man, let's check out again, and not even on all of them because there's so many in Vice City and Vice Beach. There's so many of these tall skyscraper type buildings, but just some of them, or just on a rotating basis. And I think with this patent that we were talking about, they really could do that, where it's different interiors are being loaded. just on a tagging system. So it loads it on the 8th floor instead of the 20th floor one day. Or sometimes there's just no. Maybe sometimes it is multiple that are unlocked, or that you can catch an NPC walking through and walking behind them. I don't know. Just totally getting into. I'm kind of doing what I was talking about earlier with the neighborhood friend growing up, talking about GTA 4 and all the things I wanted, and he would just go, "Yeah, I heard they're gonna have that. Yeah, yeah." I'd be like, "Really? You did?" And I totally bought it. And I totally bought it. Now I doubt it as I talk about it actively. I'm like, they're probably not going to do this stuff. Maybe to some degree, what I'm getting at in the ballpark of will get. And that, I'm sure, would be great too. Not much talk about these scenes. This is, I mean, obviously, this is, oh my God. Lighting up on his face. They're like on Ocean Drive here. I'm pretty sure I've heard mentioned on one of Sako 505's video. I think. The mapping project. We were talking about that earlier a little bit. Um, yeah, man. There's the train in the game. That's gonna be really fun to ride around on, like in Cyberpunk. I think that's gonna be really fun to ride around the city in that. The dress, that's like the same dress from trailer one, where she's in the back of the car, seemingly, or similar. And we see it earlier in this trailer too, and the other scene where she did a spin move. Um, the dress looks a lot better from trailer one. It's like incredible. It's incredible. Here's the Starlit Motel, and here is a fun tease about maybe being able to interact in terms of fighting NPCs and stuff. Use the environment, right? Throw them up against a car, throw them up against a wall, throw them through a window, type of thing. Could you take an NPC and like take his head and go boom, pop it right into like a car window, or like a building that's actually enterable, its window, or with the fake interior thing that they also have like a patent on to make 2D interiors look 3D, could you even have that glass be breakable? Again, I'm probably getting into silly territory, but could you have that glass be breakable? And then like the animation is just that he like pulls them back out or whatever. Nobody actually goes inside because it's not an actual interior, but I don't know. Either way, I think, yeah, even just being able to toss NPCs up against the car, zip tie them, carry them like Red Dead 2, all that type of stuff. Put them in my trunk, hopefully. I really want that type of stuff. And I think some of that, at least to some extent, is seen in the leak. So I'm optimistic it's going to go down. The Starlight Motel is really interesting. I think we're going to be spending a lot of time here, um, and around here. The car and fire in the background you have here. And my understanding too is this construction company is seen in different official material as well. So they might be involved in some way in the story big time. I think it was, again, Sako that was speculating about that. I've been watching a lot of his videos lately, and they're great. Lucia fighting mechanics, very interesting to think about. She like has the boxing glove necklace. We know her backstory, like on the website and stuff, with fighting. And so I think, yeah, I think that's going to be really fun. I think that's going to be really awesome mechanics with the fighting and the melee, especially like compared to GTA 5. You're gonna be able to kick some NPC's ass with Lucia's fighting mechanics. It's gonna be awesome. Look at the lighting again. Oh my god, bro, the lighting. Boom! That's an explosion. That's not just an explosion. That's an epic explosion, bro. Oh my god. Is this maybe more of the dynamic glass breaking technology that's rumored from like the LinkedIn, someone's LinkedIn, but definitely not confirmed, but makes a lot of sense. Some sort of unique glass breaking technology. A better example is probably in trailer one with the car crash scene. That's like with the Weasel News overlay on it. Man, the lighting, it's just insane. It's insane. Gotta love the Manatees jersey. I love that for the Dolphins secondary color, they went with pink instead of orange. I think that's fun. I think this is a fun combo. And not that I like orange and I like the actual Dolphins colors, the real life team that the manatees are based on. But like this looks fire. Look at this palm tree tattoo, man. Think about how fucking cool the tattoos are gonna be. And oh man, I mean, just how cool they're going to look on your character alone is kind of what I was getting at. Oh, whoop, too bad. Back a little bit too far. Man, man. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be epic. This is like, it's so interesting how trailer 2 has way less social media stuff compared to trailer 1. Makes you wonder, like, I don't know what the plan was there in terms of like, are they pulling back on some of the social media features in the game? Maybe. I don't know. I think it might have just been more a symptom of trailer 1 came out, in reality, came out before almost 3 years before the video game actually comes out. So, it's just like obviously things are going to evolve, and but it is interesting, the social media thing. It really is interesting to think about how it could work in the game. Could NPCs film you doing shit? Could you see yourself on social media? Could you connect with other players and online through like the in-game social media? I was actually researching a bit today. Apparently, the only returning social media brand that we know of is not Life Invader, the Facebook parody. The Twitter parody, Bleeder, I guess has not been seen in anything official yet. Apparently, kind of amazing to me. And yeah, so we'll see what the other ones end up being. The TikTok parody, the Instagram parody. Does Bleeder just become like a single letter name like Twitter did in real life? Another one of my favorite scenes. Look at all the beautiful cars in this scene alone. This is awesome. The NPCs and the crazy shit they're gonna be doing. Like, could you come up and just point your gun at this NPC and like scare them, make them fall out of the car when they're half hanging out already? That's like questions like that, things like that that I just want to test. We have a beautiful Banshee right here. Got to shout out the Banshee every time. My favorite car in the series history. That's a beautiful looking one. I do talk about it, or I mean, I do think about it. I don't know if I talked about it a lot in episode 1 or at all, but I really want. I feel like I did, but I can't remember. I really want a lot of new cars that haven't been in the game before. I mean, I definitely want returning ones that are new models and stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of maybe a weird request, and like probably not a lot, but definitely some new cars. I would like more than they've teased so far. Yeah, I think I was waffling about this 2 weeks ago in the first episode because then I remember realizing in real time, well, maybe they're purposely hiding these new cars from the official promotion, at least to some degree, some of them, so that way there can be surprises because they definitely want to have surprises along all sorts of lines, including that. I would think if they're planning to have a chunk of new cars that haven't been in the series before, but this scene's just so fun. Walking around Ocean Beach or Ocean Drive is just going to be awesome. It's, oh my God. And at night with the pink neon. Are you joking me? Like, what do they do if I somehow find a way to jump up here and I just like stand up there? Again, it's like I so want to not only interact with all these different NPCs and all these different environments and times of day when things are going to be different based on time of day as well, but I want to not only interact, but also just observe. Just observe as well, man. I think that's what you might see me doing a lot on like the first multiple days when I'm just kind of taking it all in, starting in 217 days from today. Oh my God. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, like theoretically, even just like if I pulled a car up or something, that'd probably freak them out doing that alone. But maybe just pull up a car and then jump up here and yeah, see how they react. But also just observing, roaming through here, hanging out with people, listening to the NPCs. We've got like a PS5 kind of looking, definitely inspired by using a more PS4 DualShock type controller. So a dynamic hybrid there, where it's like a PS5 and PS4 in a sense. I showed this earlier where I was like the work the I mean, you got a paint bucket, you got some other things there. Oh, you got like yeah. I mean, I should go even further. There's like carpet rolled up. It looks like in the corner there or something. Yeah, they're definitely doing different housework. What's interesting to watch too is, of course, and this is the fizzle of the beer. Everybody's going crazy about. I remember. Oh, it is amazing that they went for that detail, that they went that far. But then the bird too on the porch is fun to watch. He's vibing. The birds, both of them, but the one walking, there he goes. There he goes. And the fizzle in the beer. Phil's ammunition is going to be interesting. That makes me. I think it's interesting to think about with that is that just one, and then the rest of them are just normal ammunitions. But but then also the price difference or the discounts or the inventory difference of these places too between Phil's ammunition and just regular ammunitions. And how many Phils are there? I feel like it'd probably just be one. I think that'd be really fun. It was just one, and it was like where I don't know where, but just one, and it was like away, probably not in Vice City, probably in one of the other towns, one of the other cities. But then maybe there's also another brand, which we do see teased in trailer one near the end, where there's like that guns and ammo, ammunition and guns, the two signs that are like next to each other. I was kind of waffling about that a little bit last week when we were talking about trailer one. So maybe that's another one. I don't know if that place looks like it's enterable, but I love the idea of different places to go for the same purpose, like guns and ammo in GTA, but different brands, which could have different inventory, which could have different promotions, etc. I really like that idea. That's what I think about when I see that Phil's ammunition stuff. This is such a pop off moment in the trailer. So fun, bro. Oh my god, so fun. That's Brian right there, right? Seemingly with Jason piloting. The airboat stuff's gonna be so good. This is gonna be so good. Look how NPCs are hanging on this boat and around it. Hanging out on this boat and around it, bro. Shout out Flamingo Floaties. There's gonna be many of those as well. Oh man. It's GTA 6, bro. Oh my god. I love it. I love it. A lot of just scenic shots. Don't really have much to waffle about with these. There's the Liberty City thing, right, on this Liberty City plate, and then there's Gloriana plates, and there's that whole thing. I think if anything, Gloriana will be something one of the first map expansions that comes out a few years after the game comes out, but it's like teased in a sense in single player in the base game and online at launch, where it's like you can't go there because something's cutting off getting there, but it's like teased in some sort of way, but it's really out of bounds until the map expansion in the future. I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be really interesting. And I really hope when they do expansions to places like Liberty City that we could get some story DLC maybe too. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. But I think it'd be awesome to introduce us, especially to new locations in the future map expansions with a little story DLC that you can buy separately. That's separate from the online stuff. But again, they probably don't want to do it because they probably are going to view it as well. We're going to do map expansion, but you got to go to online to get the map expansion because we want to get you into that online ecosystem where there's all these microtransactions. There's all these different revenue sources for Rockstar. So yeah, I don't know. I'm talking myself out of it actively, but again, just trying to be realistic. Trying to be realistic. As a single player fan, I would really, really like if they did that, where we at least when we get map expansion, we get like, hey, it's Lucia DLC. It's her going back to Liberty City to meet up with I don't know, meet up with an old family member. That sounds like a very boring story, but you get the idea. Hopefully, I'd love to return to a modern day version of Liberty City, and since Lucia's from there, that just seems natural. But it does seem like before we go anywhere outside of Leonida, well, like too far, I think we'll go south or north, like Gloriana north, south to South America, maybe, or parts of it, some other island or something, that they were originally planning for the Project Americas idea for GTA 6. And there you pretty much have it. We're getting near the end. A few more scenes here, though. The Port Gellhorn sign is really fun there. I like that. The stoplights here are fun too, being the vertical ones. Again, sticking out of the car. Yeah, this is gonna be a really great thing in the gameplay. Shooting as the passenger. And again, I think it goes to that what I was talking about earlier with the system of Lucia and Jason hanging out together in free roam gameplay, doing different things, doing robberies, doing drive-bys where you can just seamlessly switch right over to whoever's in the passenger seat and start shooting. You can like drive up and get close and then switch over, or just hang out as one of them the whole time while the other one does. Oh, that would be so interesting. That would make such an interesting like series where you just like do all these different things with Jason and Lucia, all these different types of crimes you can do in the world, including just like not even like the ones that are like built-in systems, but are just like part of their gameplay, where it's just like running down NPCs. I mean, like whatever, going and and interacting with NPCs in different ways. But this so much ties to it with being able to hang out of the window. This the side as the passenger at least is going to be such a great evolvement for GTA with shooting as the passenger with drive-by shooting in a car. Oh my god, I can't wait. So fun, so exciting. They were teasing it with Jason shooting the pistol by Vice Beach earlier in this trailer as well. Excuse me, Ocean Drive, I should say. Um, yeah, wow. So we have another Port Gellhorn here. Oh, used auto. Seeing the walk-ins, auto parts, yeah. Well, there's also I don't. It just makes me think of will we be able to buy used cars, sell our used cars? Will that be like a functional thing, mechanic in the game? I definitely think again, it always comes back to like I definitely think it will be for online, and I hope it will be for single player. I'm like just a little nervous, a little, just remaining cautiously optimistic, but key in on the cautious there. Can you hook me up? I might have seen the trailer a time or two. Absolutely beautiful shot. The lighting again. Oh my goodness. See, like you're Jason Lucy in that car right now. Whoever's in the passenger seat, you switch them. Can you just simply punch this NPC off their bike? You don't have a gun out or anything. You get your fist. Can you just boop or grab them? You like yank them off their bike. Like again, as you're driving past in the car, you're cruising past. So like you yank them and you start like carrying them with you. It's almost like lassoing somebody in Red Dead 2. Oh man. I don't know, but that'd be really fun if you could. That'd be really fun if you could. And I think it's gonna be really fun to see the evolvement from the Red Dead 2 NPC interactions that you can do and how they're gonna be what they're gonna be like in GTA 6. I'm sure even more epic and even more to do. Oh my god. Look at this beautiful, glorious game that is 217 days away. Holy shit. That first sunset's going to hit so hard. Here's a question. What time of day do you want it to be when you're first when you begin the game, but also when you're first let out into free roam after like the opening mission or missions? I think that's an interesting thing about because I wouldn't want it to be sunset immediately in either case. I want it to be, but we might just see sunset the first time as Lucia in prison. That shot from trailer one where she's like looking out and it's like sunset and it's beautiful. Yeah, like, that's where Lucia's at the beginning of the game. It definitely I mean, it's got to be right. So I guess we might see our first sunset in this game from prison. That's the conclusion I reached. But I was thinking like I think it'd be really fun to um I think it'd be really fun to not have it be sunset at first. And you can I mean, yeah, I want it to be like morning. I want to like really immerse myself in a first full day in Leonida. Sun up to sundown and of course overnight to the neon lights in Vice City if we can go there that early. Oh man. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Man, we went over an hour here, approaching an hour and 10. In my defense, trailer 2 is 2 minutes and 45 seconds long, which is Just so epic. I love that. That was another thing that day. Not only is like, oh, here's trailer 2 and a whole new website with a shit ton, but also trailer 2 is like almost 3 minutes long. Like, wow. Wow. What an epic day. What an epic day that was. And hopefully there's going to be another one of those epic days very soon in the next few weeks here. I do think we're closing in, like I talked about, like I waffled about at the beginning of this episode. Plan is, if no new info drops, next Wednesday, we'll be back and we will cover my favorite screenshots that they put out from last year. And then I don't know what we'll do on the 29th. Probably talk a lot about GTA 4 if no new info is, again, always the caveat, if no new info is dropped. Obviously, new info dropped. We're getting into that. But yeah, in 2 weeks, it'll be GTA 4's 18th anniversary. So that's got to be talked about. That's got to be talked about on this Waffler at Hanks show. I appreciate you tuning in. As always, I appreciate you listening to me waffle about this grand game that I just absolutely cannot wait for. That I'm counting the days for. That I'm counting down the days until just the next info dump, which should be just weeks away. Maybe even the next time I talk to you. You don't know, because cover art's going to be coming. Trailer 3 pre-orders. Oh my goodness, it's pretty soon. It's gonna that's gonna hit, and then the summer launch marketing, and then we'll have a gameplay trailer by late summer or early fall. Speculating, of course, but based on their history and stuff. There's another Take Two call in August. I think they might do the gameplay trailer before then, but we'll see. There's so much to look forward to in these next 217 days, and in fact, between now and the next episode, this game will be 7 months away. By the time I see you next Wednesday, we will be less than 7 months away from this game, this grand video game that I've been waiting so long for and I'm so excited for. And these 7 months are going to be epic with the promotion that's about to begin. I'm so excited to be here for the ride. And I look forward to waffling more with all of you next Wednesday. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.